This is Logical MGTOW Spock. The reason I'm not wearing my uniform is because I need to get it cleaned, of course, which I am about to do at some point here. But also, the reason I'm wearing this is because I'm about to work on a scale model that I've been working on for some time now. Taco Bell. Then, of course, I'm going to try to work on something else. But I'm only doing one model at a time. Of course, when I started doing two models at the same time, which basically didn't really help me at all. But anyway, I'm going to start off with reading one thing that I typed up within this week, and it has to do with the mannerisms and more of the feminist bitch. Let's see, here we go. Now, many of us know, or at least not, if not every one of us yet know this. And of course, what you see right here is some peanuts to snack on, and a soda and some water. But anyway, um, many of us don't realize this until much, much later in our life. This is why, and the reason I say this is because I'm saying this for even teenagers, teenage men, as well as 20-year-old men to know this. Women are not in the right state of mind when it comes to this. They're not in the right state of mind for many things, but one of them being for sure. And that is that's my phone, of course. Um, Anyways, the one thing is the feminist female um, doesn't look at us truthfully like a boyfriend, fiance, or a husband, or even future husband for that fucking matter. What they look at us like in the sense of why they expect us to get shit for them, just so that their actual father doesn't have to get it for them, even though it should be the father to get the damn things for them. But yet, like they women have used the aspect of saying, if you give me this, that will show how much you want to be with me and how much you love me and how much my time with you is to you, how much it means to you, essentially. That is a psychological, emotional, and mental manipulation, which is a sin. Women do this, and they know, and they may not. The younger ones may not know this, but it's known also as a ploy, as by saying that, and we make that men already know this, but it's like saying, if you get me this, this is how much my time means to you. My time with you essentially means to you. Essentially, basically, we have to pay for them to spend time with us, essentially. But yet they don't have to pay or buy us things for that same aspect, because we are logical for one. We don't go to that expectation. We know this, and even we go about that way. But yet women expect it to be where, if you want to be with me, this is what you have to do for me. This is what you have to get from me. This shows this is my payment that you of my time that you're spending with me, type of thing. Not very logical, not very respectful, not very sensible either, and not very realistic. Not realistic at all. And here's the one thing that I wrote. I'll read it as I Okay, the title of the thing is and I put this on the um on the Facebook my Facebook page of logical MGTOW and logical MGTOW spot, because I got two pages of the MGTOW pages anyway. Well, actually three pages of MGTOW pages. One's a psychological one. Anyway, um, says women. The title is "Women Treat Us Men Like a Secondary Father Figure." And that is the end result, and to be later known and realized by many of us men. So the young men need to realize this now, before, and hopefully before they go any further, but also before they go any further in general with a woman, if at all, even after hearing this. And it says, when women get to the age of adult, they truly have not grown out of the childhood aspect and manners. It shows the way that they have been expecting things from us as if we are not really their boyfriends, fiance, or husbands, even soon to be slash future husbands. We men are really the secondary father figure to the so-called independent woman who claims to be an adult but acts like a 2-year-old child when in where they that is where the feminists got their own level of female entitlements, essentially. um um so so in all logic and real, actual, true reality, there is no actual entitlements. It's really just childish slash childlike expectations from the so-called adult female. Yet we MGTOW men know that the female gender will, without a doubt, deny all of what is said and add that they are independent when they are really not as independent as the woman claims. Example, case in point. During the first, if not practically all parts of the current pandemic in 2020, women have expected men to, they've expected men essentially that even the woman is not related to or married to simply help the woman by using his own hard earned money with her expenses, food, shopping, and more, by basically paying him off to where she doesn't have to do it. That's the and that I just added that. I didn't put it in the thing here, but I did put in the the fact of using our hard earned money by paying off her expenses and food shopping and more to start. Let's see. Two, it's the woman's life mission to find a man, get married, and have children before the biological clock ticks to the point where they are unable to bear slash give birth. And I'm about to read 3 here. Give me a second. Just trying to. Okay, now here's 3. Women do not keep close track of their spending habits, so much so that they go into debt even with the use of credit cards and expect us men to carry it with them and pay it off for the woman, even if it is by using our own hard earned money. Women expect to get things, see number 4. Women expect to get things that they want to have on their timeline and do things of their own choice. And as they do that, they more than deliberately ignore and make sure that they will not have any time to do what us men want to do with them, even on outings. In addition, they keep saying slash so-called promising that they will do what we men want to do the next week or day, be that of course the next day or next month, even the next year. But they always have things in mind to do that they want to do and expect us men to do it with them as some sort of distraction, even after promising that they will do what we men want to do the day, or week, or month, or even year after. If here's number 5. There's at least about 7 of these things here so far. Let's see, number 5. If the woman does not get what she wants and what she wants to do slash her way, essentially getting her way, essentially, then she bitches, complains, emotionally moans, aka tries to get her way and wants slash expects to us men to give in to her way of course that's way her way of pouting, essentially. Of course she also may pout like a little fucking child. Of course, if you're a child, then that's one thing, but if you're an adult, that's a complete different other thing. Anyway, number 6, she expects us men to be at the woman's every beck and call, even if it means we do not go to work to make an income to build a better living, to pay bills, food, shopping, and to do more things even with her, with to you see, to the points where we get fired, and if we do not do that, they use the childish excuse of why they cheated on us men to start in being that one excuse to start. You are hardly ever around when I need you slash want you to be around, essentially. Um, let's see, 7. No matter what the cost and expense of any item or any other thing is the woman expects us men to get for them, even if it makes it to where we are broke slash penniless. Those are many of what women have done and are still doing, obviously, and are still doing and acting like as if we are the secondary father figure, as a title, and not really their boyfriend, fiance, and you know, husband and future husband, essentially, and even soon to be future husband. Anyway, soon to be two future husband, that is. And they get a double, and they get a double dose of our income in the divorce, child or no children, children or no child, essentially in the sense of child support. If there was if there was a child, essentially, yeah, then they get child support, as we make that man know. So never get talked into getting married by anyone, not even any woman that you date. And always use the Tom Likas $40 rule, which basically is, of course, where you spend 20 on her and 20 on you. If she starts to answer phone calls, essentially, on her mobile phone, or starts texting or answering instant messages and emails on her phone, start standing up, excuse yourself, and say that you're going to the restroom when she's and when she's not looking. This is when she's not looking. Um, Leave the establishment while she is still in the place. Leave her there. In all, never get married and remain single. Build up your financial base of income for your future and retirement, basically for yourself in general. Now, that is the most logical thing that we men can do, because women, like I said, have not logically grown out of the 2-year old aspect of things here. Their expectations and mannerisms. Basically, also men and teenage boys, or teenage men, essentially, and 20-year-old men. Um, that in a nutshell, basically tells you why they one of many reasons why they act the way they've been acting, with also the fact that there's no real no real base of entitlements, as much as they claim to say that there is, when really there isn't. So with that, though, too, men, and MGTOW men already know this as well. I know. Um, the one thing is that um, women do not, and I do mean they do not understand that if they go to the points of expectation, pardon me for a second, I'll turn this fan on here. If they go to the points of expectation, men, and I know MGTOW men know this, that then the feminist female or the female in general, will make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse and promise us things that they really don't want to do, but they'll voice it, right? And even if we do the things, and they'll want more, then they'll want more to add. They'll keep on adding more shit on top of what we already got, as if we have all the fucking money in the world. When nobody really has all the money in the world, not even the wealthy person themselves. They also have to make the money in order to have the money. The other part of it is that we make men know this, that that women don't tell us that they are in debt, or they don't tell us that their credit rating is drastically dropping because of their continuous spending habits, without being logical of saying, okay, this is what I need, what I can get, but this is what I can't get. This is what I have to pay for, and this is what I need to pay for in order to survive. They they get that to a percentage, but if they want something so badly, they'll get that, then spend what they can spend on their food, or and try to make payment plans with the bill with people with the companies that they have to pay bills through. Not all companies are going to do that continuously. Believe me, I know. I've dealt with it. I've had to do it a number of times, and they weren't too happy. The companies want to get the thing out of the way, or the next one will be added on to it, which makes it even more. Each time the delay of a bill payment, the next month's payment can be added on to the current one that's still being paid off, and it builds up month per month. Women should know this. They don't. They say they do, but yet they still do what they do there. And with that, they expect us men to pay it up for them, even if it means by using our own money that we worked hard for. Not them, we did. But yet, many blue pill simp teenage men, as well as college men, just to get the golden vagina, essentially the golden goose, as it were. Um, they'll do anything in them, but yet they don't realize the woman will expect more beyond that. Then they had to. Then the guy ends up having to work harder to accommodate that. But yet, when we want the woman to accommodate to the things of and for us, they say, you're the man. You're supposed to do things for the woman. We don't have to do for anything for you men, or really. The basic fact is if a man does something for a woman, logically the woman would have to pay back the favor, and it doesn't have to be sexual either. Yet I know we men would like it to be sexual, but it doesn't have to be sexual every fucking time, especially when we're out on a date with them. Because I know that women think that if we do something for them, they'll be they sometimes feel obligated, or even more than so, to give themselves to us as if they're forced to do. It has nothing to do with force. We're not holding them against their will just because we do something for them or get something for them. It has to be a want. And therefore, if the woman continuously goes to the points to where she does not pay back the the aspect of what we do for them, there's the as the old saying goes, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Being that there are women out there that will pay, and, essentially give us the respect and give us something back for getting something for them or doing something for them. And at times, I know, even more so than at times, that it seems like the women that we run into is like the same woman we or women essentially that we dealt with before. And even with my experience, it seems to be that exact way. But the one thing is, doesn't have to be that way because the like I've said many times before, we get more value. Women don't. Their value lessens over time. Our value heightens, increases, even with the aspect of wealth that we build up for ourselves while we are single. That that's what women look towards. They don't look towards the person, which is a sin. Granted, it is a sin when a woman sees a guy because he has this or any large amount, right? Instead of looking at the person, and yet here's the one thing too. I'm going to use a little psychology here for you. Women always say, "You, I thought you loved me for who I am." We do. We could use the same thing to them. Oh yeah, I do. That's what they get. Oh yeah, I do love you for who you are. Bullshit. It's really this that they're really thinking about, even while saying. If I say this, then he'll want to get me more things. And yet, in 1972, the in 1972, the ERA, known as the Equal Rights um, Feminist Movement, essentially, they started protesting and marching, even all the way to the points of Washington D.C. And by 1978, the Equal Rights Amendment bill was presented to Congress. Then by 79, after it was enacted and put into law, by the end of 78 at the most, right? Um, by 79, women were able to legally, not constitutionally really, because constitutionally they were able to work then, even way before then. Yet, for some illogical, irrational reason, and what have you, an illogical reason, they were not presented that. But yet, the Constitution was already stated that women were able to work. They didn't need a secondary aspect of it. But they got the secondary. They put forth the secondary thing after a while, anyways, didn't they? And that secondary thing was the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment bill. And by the way, YouTube, I'm not advertising. I'm just using this as a thing to what I would normally wear if I was to do loads of scale model building. Anyway, um, so women are able to work, and now even after the 1990s, they're claiming that there's a wage gap. There's never been a wage gap. There's not a wage gap. So women need to wake up and realize and quit using excuses and trying to come up with other shit that's not really logical and not really realistic. There was a video cover I saw of a woman going like this, type of thing, and the caption said, "You're saying this is my fault?" Right beside the woman that is. The caption said that it's her fault. Are you saying it's my fault? Type of thing, the way women have acted in the sense of the so-called entitlements, in which I've already cleared the fact that there are really no true entitlements. And the other fact of it is that with the fact that there is no true entitlements, women have just continuously kept that child mannerism with them, even into adulthood. From when they were children, they didn't grow out of it like we men have, and they carried it with them all the way through their teenage, to the points of expectation and various other things. Um, and they've carried it with them all the way through their 20s, and they still have it with them when they're in their 30s, 40s, and it kind of fades out by around late 50s, if not early 50s at times. It depends upon the woman, too. That's another. So basically, MGTOW brothers and future soon to be MGTOW brothers and blue pilled Simpson Manginas and White Knights, you've got a new thing to re-examine and think about, don't you? When it comes to the feminist and Me Too female, because, like I said, logically, there isn't really any true entitlements. That aspect of entitlement is gone. Because the reality, and I've thought about this over time, even as I've been doing video, you can say I've been thinking about it in the back of my head. But the one thing is, of course, I'd be thinking about that in the back of my head while I'm doing videos or whatever the hell else, right? But anyway, um, the basic fact is the so-called labeling of the entitlement, or the so-called nomenclature, if you want to call it that as well. It doesn't matter. But the basic fact is that um, the labeling of entitlement, just put it that way for right now, is really their child is really the woman's childlike mannerisms, attitudes, seeing that they were able to get what they wanted to while being taught various things as parents should do all the time, is teach the child right from wrong and all that, right? But outside of that, they've been getting what they have been wanting since since they were very little, right? That's a totally different thing compared to when they get older. When they get older, they cannot go to the points of expecting on the same level, if not higher percentage of a level, to the points of expecting us men to get things for them and do things for them, when they can obviously do that those things for themselves if they claim to be so independent. But also the aspect of the entitlements is out the door once she says, "I do" at the wedding. But they don't look at it that way. Then they do. And the other thing it is though too is I know, and before I did this video today, there's been a number of videos where a woman would say, "This is how you attract, or how you make a woman want you more." The video is done by a woman, or a single woman, or sometimes two women. And they automatically assume and try to claim that all women want this on the same time and fucking aspect and level and various and percentage and what have you as the woman that's giving the information on the video, as if they are Deanna Troy from Star Trek The Next Generation, which is Marina Sirt's character, as if they are telepaths, are able to read every woman's thoughts, emotions, feelings, and all that. And when no woman has that true ability. If a man were to make that same type of fucking video, it would be said the same way, but towards us men, towards one of us men, by saying, "This is how you get a guy to want you more, ladies," type of thing. Or it'd be like, "Ladies, this is how you get your dream man to get you to want you and stay with you and do things for you that you would ever expect." Something to that effect, anyway. No man and no woman knows what other women want or what other men want. Be that of course, no man knows what other men how other men would react, and no woman truly knows how any other woman would react because we all react differently towards and about different things. Even the woman, same thing. So logically, if you see those videos on any social media video site, know this: it's not, even though the labeling is, this is how you attract a woman to want you more. This is how you attract a woman. And then when you watch the video, then really what they're explaining and voicing is what they want. What the woman that is on the fucking video wants and expects. So basically, she can say this is what all women want, all she wants until she's blue in the face or whatever the hell else. Until she falls on her ass for all I care, you know? The basic fact is that she's only voicing for her. She's using her own mind, her own emotions, the whole enchilada, and it's not really about what women in every part of the gender, of the female gender, wants, expects, this and that and the other. It's about what she wants, what she expects, and the way she feels about the way it is done and the way she explains it. Yet the women want us men to think this is what all women expect. No, what she says is what all women would react to. No, because I've seen this thing in reality. Okay, the fact of it is that when a guy watches, it doesn't matter if you're a teenager, it doesn't matter if you're 20-year-old male, it doesn't matter if you're a 30-year-old male, it doesn't matter what age you are. When you compile that information from that type of video, voiced by one woman, and you test it out, the woman will more than likely laugh in your face, think you're strange, or any other thing for that matter, but it will not react. She will not react the way it's stated by that one woman on the video. Because, like I said, women voice things through emotion, feeling, and such like that, right? As we all know. We MGTOW men know this. If not many of the MGTOW men know this, they know this now. The basic fact is that women use emotion, feeling, and what have you else in voicing how they feel and what they think and all this other stuff. But the basic fact is that when they say, "Oh, this is what women like. This is what women respond to. This is what," don't believe that shit. Because women respond to different things, different ways, different mannerisms, and different actions, different positive actions. So to the women who voice those type of videos, of saying this is what women want, this is how to get a woman to really want you, and all this other shit, right? Whatever the hell else. It's really you women who are making the video that are expression of what you want, how you women expect to get the attraction and attention. So don't BS us men, women, when you make those videos. And also the ladies need to realize they have been found out more times than one time by me, as well as in many other aspects by other MGTOW members. But I feel that, of course, it's my own feeling, of course, but I feel that I've gone much deeper, psychologically as well as otherwise. But the basic fact is that yes, women want us men to believe things, even if they want us to think that other women want this. They may want it, but they may want it in a different way. But at the same time, they may not want it the same way the woman expresses or voices. Be that, of course, expresses and voices. So basically, also, women think that they can do these stupid fucking ASMR videos and try to act like they are the dominant female over us men. No. I don't care what age they are not the ones to call the shots. Yeah, domination may have been an attraction to us men, to a number of us men in the past. But due to the mannerism and the illogical expectations and what have you of and from women, that's dead and gone. The domineering woman is dead and gone. Because even a domineering woman will do anything in any action, just as long as just as long as she doesn't get penetrated sexually. And at times, yeah, even the domineering woman will go that far in the points of penetration. But the basic fact is that more often than not, it's a emotional psychological ploy. Do this and do that and do this and do that and do that and the other, and then something, and then at the same time we're thinking, okay, if we do these things, then we'll get into something more intimate, sexual. Mm-mm. Women are little idiots in that sense because they know what that they know by dressing up in this scantily clad shit, even the little pornographic crap, right, of clothing, that's what they think that we're thinking is that the domineering woman thinks that if we do all these things, we'll be able to penetrate them. That's what they're thinking. Of course, at the same time, many men may be thinking that same thing, is that they'll be able to penetrate them in some way or another. But the basic fact is that in reality, not so. So yes, again, ladies, the domineering woman affirmation is dead and gone. The woman who thinks that they can tell us men what to do is dead and gone. The affirmation of where women think that they can fucking say what goes and what doesn't, even in relationships, you've blown that up to smithereens, ladies. You've rewinded the aspect of time and mannerisms and more, ladies, with your high expectations, your so-called high entitlements, which basically really there's no entitlements. It's just a childish bullshit thing that you women continuously use for your benefit. ladies, you've made it to where time reverts itself back to the 50s, 60s, and 40s and 20s, to where when women did not divorce the bank off the man by the aspect of getting what the woman wants and making the bullshit excuse. If I'm not going to be able to make it with taking care of the child or children without his part of his percentage of his income, besides me not able to work, or even if I am working, I'm only making so much. I need a percentage of his for my own self worth, as well as for the children's self benefit, in the sense to where I'm able to take care of them better, and to where they're able to eat as well as I'm able to eat, and to where they're able to be taken care of even for school and everything. You women have destroyed that as well. Logically, because I've already said, when it comes to the child support, we men are willing to pay the child support by doing one thing, by getting the things that the child needs directly for the child. Because as time has progressed, each time we have allowed the government to give you women a percentage of our income, especially when it comes to child support, you end up using a larger percentage of not only the alimony, but also the larger percentage of the child support for you women, and the rest of it goes to the child, as if you matter more than the child. And it's been said even by me that when a child comes into the picture, it's not about the woman 100%. It's not being, of course, the mother of the child, and it's not about the father 100% either. And we men know. You women say you know this, but yet you present it in a different way by getting what you want for you, and then doing only so much for the child. Children, again, I'm going to say this again. Children are not asked to be born. But when you women allow the child to be born, baby, that of course when you give birth to the child, it's not about you. Women 100%. But yet when it comes to the child support, 100% of the time, even with the father not around, you women have done this more often than not. And that more often than not thing that you've done is spend a larger percentage of the child support on you women, which is illogical and sinful, and whatever's left you spend for and on the child. Not very responsible, nor is it very parent like. If you can't handle the fucking fact that it's not about you when the child or children are in the picture, then guess what? You should not have children. You should get your fucking tubes tied, ladies. And yes, I know the procedure of the extent of the procedure for the tubal ligation for women compared to men. Yes, I know. Believe me, I'm well aware. But if you women say you're not gonna do something, then like later on you end up doing it, you're making yourself look like a fucking brain dead bitch, selfish, one minded, closed minded, one track minded little slut. uncaring idiot of a woman as well. Truth hurts, doesn't it, ladies? Because what I said is in actuality, you can deny it all you want. You can deny what I read on the video earlier as well. You can deny that all you want, but you know damn well, deep within you, deep within you, deep inside you, you know it's the truth. And I know you hate me for fucking putting it out there. But guess what? I have every God given right, even constitutional right, to do it. I'm Every MGTOW member practically knows that I'm a humanitarian advocate, citizen advocate, education advocate, health advocate, disability advocate, and business advocate. Thereby, I know my rights and I know everyone's rights and freedoms and match mine, and I am defending. If you women don't like it, you're gonna have to learn to live with it. Because there's a lot of things we men had to put up with you women that we're not putting up with you women ever again on though and with. So you're gonna have to continuously deal with the things from and about us. And what we the information and knowledge that we compile and acquire. The very information that I've said over the course of several months and days and years is what I've had for some time now. With the fact that I know psychology and I know the male and female psyche, whether you want to believe it, ladies, or not, I don't really give a damn. The truth is in the eye of the beholder on that one, too. And believe me, it shines damn that beholder light in the eye of that beholder shines pretty bright. And you know the one thing also, ladies, the ladies don't realize, men, is that with all the things that they've gotten from their parents, they repeat it towards us to see how far we go or are willing to go. And then when they have had their fill, they go over and it's a repeating cycle. If they get tired of us at some point, then they go to another. And if they get tired of that one, they're never happy with it. And we MGTOW men know this. They keep on claiming, women keep on claiming, I'm trying to find happiness. I'm trying to find self assuredness. I'm trying to find, you know, completion, compassion, all this other stuff. They have the compassion within them. We all have compassion within us, both genders. We have the base of emotional, psychological completion in each and every one of us. And also, when it comes to companionship, they have it. When they're with a person, they have companionship. When we're with a person, we have companion. Now, that friend, and when we're with a person in the sense of a relationship, mm, when we men are with women, with a woman essentially, there's companionship. But to them, it's not full companionship. Even if we do things for them, it's never been really true, full, actual companionship. Even when we get emotional with them, when we get emotionally close to them, and everything, it's never a full companionship to the woman as much as it is and has been to and for us men. Basically, they're trying to find themselves as they do the things that they've done to us. But they do this to the points of no stop. There's no halting. No the basic train is still barreling down the track, and there's no way to fucking stop it because the brake lever is nowhere to be found when it comes to women. You could use the same thing when it comes to the movie Speed, where that bus had to keep on barreling down till it hit the damn, what was it, the gasoline tanker, right along with that jetliner that was about to take off or something, right? Something to that effect, anyway, right? Then that was the only way the bus stopped, right? When it went to a complete utter explosion. That's where women are leading themselves, and yet they don't see it. That metaphor is where women are leading themselves to the points of obliteration, to where humanity is non-existent. The more they do the illogical, sinful shit and the childish bullshit, and claiming that it's entitlements to start with when it's not, they're basically doing themselves in, as well as they're gradually doing humanity in. Yet they will repeatedly deny it. Yes, there are many things that we may deny, but guess what though? We deny it with logic and truthful and sensible aspects, right? And we deny things in logic. Women don't. They deny it because they don't want to look like a very bad person, like they would always do wrong, and it goes beyond that, right? Yet their actions prove otherwise. When they do us men wrong, that proves otherwise. They're not the innocent. They're not the sweet, innocent little fucking angels that they claim to be and try to emulate. Regardless of the fact that women are still seen in society as the weaker gender, they're not little soft little angels like they were when they were children. Yet they use the same fucking mannerism as a 2-year-old and a child, even to the points of high expectation between 6 and 5. And they call it entitlements. That's why many MGTOW members over the years have made these videos by using movie like The Sopranos, where the woman claims saying, I'm entitled to this or that, the other thing, right? Before the dude came up to her face and bitched her out, told her what's what and what for. Then there was another one. Yeah, there was another one, right? And there's been several. And all the base of entitlement. Even Tom Likas he even talks about women's so-called little entitlements. And I've already explained earlier in this video that there is no actual real entitlements when it comes to women. It's the fact that they've carried their little illogical, sinful mannerisms from children, from the age of children on up through their preteens to teenage, and then from their teenage to the 28-year-old age. Then they try to carry it as much as they can to through their 30s and 40s, and then they essentially lose touch and lose track in their 50s. It kind of fades away in their 50s, but not entirely. Of course, that also depends upon the woman itself, in itself as well. Yet, a person like McHenry, for example, wants to keep on going after the woman. Aside from the fact that he claims that he hasn't had a true actual relationship with a woman, and he claims to be even since his 30s he hasn't had it. You know, the one thing is that he could be saying this. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's lying or nothing. That's between him and Heavenly Father in this one. But he could be saying this just to get sympathy. With the fact that McHenry Cruiser has a paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis. That that diagnosis is not his fault. Things do more than tend to happen to us human beings. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Even in those type of diagnoses, it it it's not our own doing of why we get those. For those who have various types and levels of diagnosis. But then then by emotional aspects, and I'm using psychology on this one, we kind of lose sight of reality at times to the points to where we want to present ourselves as something or someone we're not. It's okay to use our imagination, even as adolescents and or adults, and something that we want to reach for even before we hit our 30s or 40s or 20s or even late teens. But the number of people who have the diagnosis that even Mike McHenry has, they don't really give themselves the effort, emotional, psychological effort to go towards that before they hit any particular part and aspect of their life. Because they compile themselves with other things along the way before they even reach that. Even if they say, "Oh, I'm a rock star," and then they steer away from that, and then they go over to something else, right? Then they go and eventually go back into it again, right? That's emotional psychological. Okay. Now the one thing is though too, women do the same thing. Okay, because women do have a number of women do have the same type of diagnosis that we men get. More often than not, there are more women than us men that have those particular various different types of diagnosis. Way more than us men. And I'm not going to say that the percentage can grow on the male side as well as the female side, but yet and it's not because of the weaker gender aspect or what have you of the female, of why there's a higher percentage of women that have these diagnoses. It's an actual fact. And there's a number of women that have various diagnoses without even being diagnosed, without even I mean, it's like, okay, they act certain ways, then they act normal to the people who know them and love them and what have you, right? And then they act again something unbecoming of who they are known to be and how they are known to be. Then they go back in sort of a back and forth thing, right? You could say that the feminist female is the same way, but until and unless they are diagnosed with a particular thing, and that is even outside the pandemic situation, separate from the pandemic situation, especially when it comes to paranoia, schizophrenia, or various other things, um, you could easily say that they are in the mental aspect, but that's a judgment. Unless they are medically diagnosed something, you cannot say. Or even assume. You can also say a person's mentally deranged on any level or for any reason, but unless they're diagnosed in a certain particular thing medically, you can't, because that's also known as judgment. By saying that person's mentally deranged or whatever the hell else. Unless they're diagnosed something, you cannot say. Or you sin. But at the same time, when they are diagnosed something like McHenry is, because I've commented on his video, not to give him attention or nothing like that, or shall we say, uh, self-preservation or whatever the hell else, right? But to help, I do that to help him out by saying the actuality. And then of course the one time he responded back saying, "Well, yes, I am." I'm like, "No, you're not. You don't have the willingness to do so. You never gave yourself the the aspect of going towards there. I mean, mm, you can't just expect things to happen and to be given to you like women do. Women expect things to be given to them where they don't have to really do a damn thing in their minds. But logically, women as well as men have to do things in order to get things. And it's not always sexual. A larger percentage of the time, it's not a sexual thing to get or receive. For women, it's not always sexual. For men, it's not always sexual. So generally, the whole aspect is simply you really need to think about what I said right, and so do the ladies that are watching this video, because I speak the truth. And right there should tell you that and show you that how much of the male and female psyche I know, and I know a lot more too. I can go deeper into it, but I don't want to bore you. If you have any questions, MGTOW brothers and future to soon to be and new MGTOW brothers and blue pilled simps, manginas, white knights, and anybody else for that matter, even the women. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is Logical MGTOW Spock. Live long and prosper. Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay self assured, self confident. Stay alive. Stay single. MGTOW for life.